The work to remove Saddam Hussein and his regime was a challenge, no doubt, but it pales in comparison to the hard work required to build the peace. The detailed, deliberate planning to finish the job in Iraq was not considered, as Secretary Rumsfeld forbade military planners from developing plans for securing a post-war Iraq. At one point, he threatened to fire the next person who talked about the need for a post-war plan. Our country and our incredible military were not set up for success. Our country has yet to mobilize for a protracted, long war. I believe that Secretary Rumsfeld and others in the administration did not tell the American people the truth for fear of losing support for the war in Iraq. He failed to address the full range of requirements for this effort, and the result is 1% of the population shouldering the burdens, continued hemorrhaging of our national treasure in terms of blood and dollars, an Army and Marine Corps that will require tens of billions of dollars to reset after we withdraw from the country, the majority of our National Guard brigades no longer combat ready, a Veterans Administration which is underfunded by over $3 billion, and America arguably less safe now than it was on September 11, 2001. If we had seriously laid out and considered the full range of requirements for the war in Iraq, we would likely have taken a different course of action that would have maintained a clear focus on the main effort in Afghanistan, not fueled Islamic fundamentalism across the globe, and not created more enemies than there were insurgents. What do we do now? We are where we are, plagued by the mistakes of the past. Thankfully, we're Americans, and with the right leadership, I believe we can do anything. First, the American people need to take charge through their elected officials. Secretary Rumsfeld and the administration are fighting a war in secret that threatens our democratic values. This needs to stop right now, today. Second, we must replace Secretary Rumsfeld and his entire inner circle. We deserve leaders whose judgment and instinct we can all trust. Third, we must mobilize our country for a protracted challenge, which must include conveying the what, the why, and the how long to every American, rationing to finance the totality of what we are doing, and gearing up our industrial base in a serious manner. Mortgaging our future at the rate of $1.5 billion a week and financing our great Army and Marine Corps with supplemental legislation must stop. Americans will rally behind this important cause when the rationale is properly laid out. Fourth, we must rethink our Iraqi strategy. More of the same is not a strategy, nor is it working. This new strategy must include serious consideration of federalizing the country, other forms of Iraqi national conscription, and incentives to modify behavior, and a clear focus on training and equipping the Iraqi security forces as America's main effort. Fifth, we must fix our interagency process to completely engage and synchronize all elements of America's national power. Unity of effort is fundamental, and we need one person in charge in Iraq who pulls the levers with all U.S. government agencies responding with 110% effort. Finally, we need to get serious about mending our relationships with allies and getting closer to our friends and enemies. America cannot go this alone. All of this is possible, but we need leadership and responsible congressional oversight to pull us off. I challenge the American people to get informed and speak out. Remember that Congress represents and works for the people. Congressional oversight committees have been strangely silent for too long, and our elected officials must step up to their responsibilities or be replaced. This is not about partisan politics, but rather what is good for our country. Our November elections are crucial. Every American needs to understand the issues and cast his or her vote. I believe that one needs to vote for the candidate who understands the issues and who has the moral courage to do the harder right rather than the easier wrong. I, for one, will continue to speak out until there is accountability, until the American people establish momentum, and until our congressional oversight committees kick into action. Victory in Iraq is fundamental, and we cannot move forward until accountability is achieved. Thank you, sir.